Previously in X-Men. As longtime enemies of Wolverine, the Reavers have been hunting for Logan around the team's Australian outback base of operations, while he's been away in Madripoor. The remnants of the X-Men have been in the Savage Land, leaving Wolverine vulnerable to an ambush by the cybernetically enhanced predators, should he return. I am Jason Lapidus.
I'm Chris Sanigan.
And we are a group of 7 comics. Welcome to episode 193 of our ongoing read-through of the X-Men comics that became classic as we read Uncanny X-Men 251 by Chris Claremont, Marc Silvestri, Dan Green, cover date of early November 1989. Chris, how are you?
I'm good. I'm excited because this one has predators in it.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, right? Yeah. You mentioned it in your intro. I mean, it's going to be Predator, right?
Yeah, I know you're a big fan of Predators. Yeah, I mean...
Wait a minute. That doesn't sound good.
Well, I guess in this current climate, we should maybe avoid that word, or not, considering there's a feature film out right now called Predator Badlands.
Top of mind politically, top of mind movie going.
Yeah, but this has never really been a political show.
No.
And I like to be the kind of person that doesn't have words taken away because something of the moment is happening that just like flavors a word a little bad. The word has been part of the language for a long time. It will be here long after all this is done. Hey, the Reavers are predators in the like animal ecological food chain sense.
Yes.
And they're gunning for Wolverine. They've been setting it up for quite a few issues. Yes. And and hey man, there's a hot, provocative title to this episode. All-time best X-Men cover, question mark?
Question mark?
So I'm gonna throw it out there to the chat. What I'm looking for from everybody is like maybe give me the reasons this is the best cover in the X-Men of all time. And if you want, you can say it up to this point. You can qualify this however you want. You can say best X-Men cover of the Claremont era. You can say of the 80s. You can say of, or, you know, anyway, but give me some way that you think it is. And of course, this kind of thing, best is completely subjective. Art is subjective. Best comic book cover, completely subjective idea. But I still love the idea of like talking about what would make it the best. Like if we all advocate for it. One of the things that I would say that does make it the best comic cover or X-Men cover is that it tells a story unto itself. It doesn't feel like it's just a moment, although it is representing just a moment. It feels like there is a whole world that is happening that this cover evokes like an entrance into that entire story, as opposed to just the generic superheroes jumping forward or superheroes posing. This feels like a kind of emotion that I don't think I ever felt before when reading or when seeing a comic book cover. It just encapsulated something that made me go, oh my God, things have escalated. Like we're now torturing. And it like there was no hope. It seemed like the emotional stakes were higher on this cover, and not even in the like melodramatic "Shall Robin die today?" Like it wasn't that. It was, I mean, he's not even going to die. He's just going to suffer. Right. So that's one of the reasons I'll say that this is the best X-Men cover. The art, so evocative. The colors are like that gross storm. You know, some terrible storm that's out and he's caught in a little bit of light, but it's like feels hopeless and desolate. I don't know. Do you have any reasons that you think it is a strong cover or
well, I can certainly say, you know, why it's a strong cover. I think one of the reasons, I mean, everything that you've said, I think also though, as if you're following this comic regularly, if you're following this show regularly, and we get to this cover, you know, more often than not, leading up to this cover, you and I have found the stories to be generally underwhelming. The arcs not the strongest compared to earlier in the series, earlier in the run. And then this cover shows up, and you're like, immediately, I'm like, oh, this is this is X-Men. This is, I don't like, I mean, aside from there being a giant X on the cover, this is like this image and the cover image, like suddenly all that 50 issue run previous to this is like, I'm not even thinking about it. Now I'm thinking about what the heck is happening in this comic.
Right.
I cannot wait to open this comic. Is
right.
A return to criticality, like as like, you know, when I think of like it being not just a top selling book, but the must read book.
Sure.
Right. Is this, are we alluding to that with this? Which is why I think maybe aside from and all the reasons you mentioned, maybe part of why it could be considered among the top covers is like that permanence because of what it potentially represents given the lead up to it.
Yeah, this one feels like, you know, if there was a group of us at school reading this,
yes,
or that were following X-Men, it would be like come to school the next day. This would be water cooler conversation subject matter. Like, did you see that cover of X-Men?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's just such a memorable and powerful image. And then just the sheer genius of taking that cross and turning it on its side. It's so simple, and it does everything it needs to do. And I can't say enough good things about it.
There's so much iconography with the idea of crucifixion, not even necessarily like obviously religious, right? Like Christian religion.
Sure.
But beyond that, like it existed before the iconography. It existed as a means of torture and killing and suffering before its connection to, you know, the Christian faith. But like as an activity, like the idea of being exposed on something. We can go back to like, you know, not Sisyphus, but who's the one who keeps getting his liver?
Prometheus.
Thank you, Prometheus, for sharing fire. Like he's strapped down with chains, and like it's that idea of extreme vulnerability.
Okay, so now you're into something. So now it's getting archetypal.
Yeah, now you're right. Like, we're talking mythological, like storytelling elements here.
Boom. Do you know at all the story about Odin?
Maybe
and
not.
His origin, how he gains sight.
Well, I know he loses he gives up an eye. He willingly gives up an eye, doesn't he?
Right. It's all part of he basically is bound and hung like from a tree, from the world tree.
The world tree. Yeah.
And, for I don't know, like what different stories are going to give different amount of time, but let's just say until he's well beyond death. And in that, like he trades the eye for sight. It's like sight beyond sight, to be able, you know, to see the distances and all that through time and space. And so he goes through this huge transformative process by being strung up to Yggdrasil, the world tree. So, like, you've got it there in Norse, you've got it in Greco-Roman with Prometheus.
Yep.
And it feels like this is a mythic moment that Wolverine is going to be tortured, and like his consciousness is going to be able to pass through worlds. He's going to be in so much pain. Really, really powerful stuff. And I bet you it's in way more cultures than just those two. But the idea that it is a mythic image, it transcends comics. It's like larger than comics. Best X-Men cover of all time. Like, wow. Just
it also suggests that a protagonist or, you know, a hero or whatever needs to be at their lowest before they can transcend that, transform to something which is the next version.
Right.
Like emerge. And so we're seeing Wolverine here. Like, you know, we know he's got healing factor. Like, we know that guy can get strapped up to something and can probably survive for a good long time. Like, we know he's not a havoc. He's going to die the next day or a long shot or something like that. We know this is long. We know this is like multiple days. And we know that when he gets out of it, because we all assume he's going to get out of it because he's Wolverine. He's the best he is at what he does. When he gets out of it, he's going to find whatever he needs to find within himself to emerge, and then it's like, oh, all bets are off now. Now this is like a new. We've entered into a new transformative state. At least that's kind of what it sets up.
Yeah, it really is pretty powerful. There are not, in the category of characters taking cool poses, there are a lot of great covers.
Yeah.
In the category of like characters in action or characters like at their peak.
Yeah, your high school graduation photo.
There are a lot of great covers in that respect. Covers of iconic characters at their lowest. There aren't too many. One other comes to mind of Spider-Man by Mike Zeck. Spider-Man coming out of the ground in his black suit, like coming out of a grave, as he's been buried by, spoilers, Kraven the Hunter in Kraven's Last Hunt. He's at a pretty low point when that starts, but he's coming out of the ground, so he's already on the road back. But there are not very many covers that are so iconic that it is of a character at their worst moment. Pretty cool stuff. I'm blown away also, like I said before, about the colors. Like it's such harsh black and white art, and then bold color choices, and you can see there's not just the brush strokes by Dan Green, there's also the razor blades up and down to create the drip and the texture of wood, and really cool. Michael says, are there any other single character covers, or does Wolverine get the only solo treatment? I'm pretty sure we've seen other singular characters on the cover.
Yeah, I think so.
There, of course, one comes to mind right away, which is Life, Death, the Storm. There's one by Barry Windsor Smith with her kind of in a pose like so. Oh, yeah. It's also purples and blacks. So we do get one from at least that from Storm. If we go back through, we'll come up with some more. I have a hunch. Sure. Not very many get one character only up on the cover. Masses, not sure it's the best. Definitely iconic. Yeah, man, but tell me why it is the best. I'd love to hear, like, if you don't think it's the best, you have to come up with a good argument. So who knows what you'll come up with. Black Spider says, what's up, fellas? You have 3 copies of this? I kind of have 3 in a way. I got the original, I got Essentials, and I got a digital. So DVD-ROM.
You would know this. You'd know this better than I. If we were back issue diving and came across this comic and it was in decent condition, it can't be rare in the sense that, like, at the time they're printing hundreds of thousands of these. But would this be something that we marked up, like this particular comic? Yeah.
Just because it is a key almost just because of the cover.
Just because of the cover. Right.
Yeah, and it's big hype. Nothing specifically happens in it that is going to, like, it's not the first appearance of Wolverine. But yeah, the cover on its own, it just carries a generational weight, if that makes any kind of sense.
Sure.
Yeah. There you go. Jason Jose, how you doing? Also, nice to see you in the chat. One of them is Newsstand. Black Spider says, I got it last century. Yeah, my copy is direct market, and I've never thought about, like, buying Newsstand and direct market. Just whatever I get is whatever I get. When I was a kid, I always preferred the direct market, but at this point in time, there are less on the Newsstand than there are on the direct market. So the Newsstand ones seem to carry a fun cachet with a lot of people, and I get it. Rare makes something kind of special sometimes. Hey, click like of the video, subscribe to the channel, and throw a comment in the chat below, please, and thank you. The comment section. Thanks to all of our subscribers. We are well on our way now to 700.
Woo!
So let's keep going. We'll keep posting videos, and if you're enjoying the content, hey, share it. Let us know. We really appreciate that. Additionally, you can support the channel by buying our books. Sevenimo's Secret Tale and Peregrine's Flights, Fiends, and Fisticuffs are both available in print and digital formats on our website, group-of-7comics.ca. Written by Chris Sanigan and illustrated or art by Jason Lapidus. There you go. That's him and him. Pretty exciting stuff.
Yeah, very much so.
Hey, we also have a second show with with eye-catching loaded titles to try and get you to click. The second show is called Leveling Up. It's on Saturday mornings, either every week or every second week. We'll see how I do. Right now, I needed a 2-week cycle, but this episode is ready to go for this week. And looking at Tim Sale and his issue of Solo. Solo being a 12-part series. Yeah, 12-part series that DC put out from 2004 to 2006. And it might be the best DC Comics series, given that it is curated by editor Marc Chiarello, and he chose excellent creators and gave them one issue to do whatever they wanted. So it ended up being like a really interesting anthology series of a certain creator for each issue. So there's an issue, of course, issue 1 is Tim Sale. There's one by Darwin Cook. There's one by Mike Allred, Paul Pope. The list goes on, and they are really a great way to like get the best out of these creators, because they're not bound by the idea of continuity. They can just tell whatever stories they want to tell, and they're short form. So you get variety, you get risk taking with low investment. So yeah, there is a fun date night Catwoman, Batman, Jeff Loeb, Tim Sale story in there. And I'm going to make a case that it's the best DC comic book series, at least of that time, because it gives creators free reign to do what they do best.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Very cool. Check that out. Drop Saturday morning, 8 a.m. Okay. Adding fuel to the fire. This is a scene from Deadpool and Wolverine. Did you ever see that movie, Chris?
May have. Yep.
A couple times?
Just the once.
So I'm going to just go on a tangent. This cover is so good that it inspired the filmmakers to not put Deadpool in the scene in the comics, but to put Deadpool in the world that cover evokes. So that cover is so powerful that it created an entire world in the imagination of the filmmakers to this movie. So there is no, scene in the comics where it's a mountain of skulls and Wolverine is left there to be tortured and die. That's just like the nightmare scenario that the cover represents, and it is so powerful that it needed to be included. I think that speaks volumes to me, that like when they have to pick different things from Wolverine's catalog of iconic moments, this one came up, and it wasn't a moment in the story. It was the power of the cover. Now, there was one, of course, where it's him with the claws and the Hulk is in the reflection of the claws. That's a great contender for the same premise. Like that moment itself in the cover is a world where those two are fighting, and that also got represented in the movie. So it's kind of fun to see. Another reason for it being great is like Jim Lee did an homage.
Oh.
This is not the original art by Silvestri. This is Jim Lee only a few years ago being like, hey, this is still on my mind. I want to draw this.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
And there's your Mountain of Skulls.
Yeah, the Mountain of Skulls is on the Silvestri version.
Oh.
It just is, I think in that case, it's sort of
yes, you're right. Yeah,
metaphorical, like Wolverine is about to die. He's entering the realm of the dead in a way. Like he's in hell. He's in a personal hell. It's a really great idea to put all the piles of skulls. Mignola. It feels like a Mignola cover in a lot of ways too. Like the Silvestri one, because again they're pulling from the same inspirations. But it's neat to see Jim Lee also inking himself.
Yep.
A lot of people are critical of the plasticity or the precision of Scott Williams inks, but when Jim Lee does it himself, he experiments a little. So it's neat to see. Anyway, throwing all that out there.
Looks good.
Seeing what sticks. But there you go. There you go.
There's that lone bird, eh? That one bird.
I think there's actually another one underneath the M in X-Men.
Oh. I see.
I think he placed it badly, and they weren't able to kind of put the title around it. That makes sense.
Hmm.
I was looking for the original art and I couldn't find it to prove my case.
Somebody has it somewhere.
I do think it is another bird, which lends to the iconography conversation about, or the archetypal argument about Odin, right? Because he has two ravens.
Two ravens, yeah.
Yeah. But anyway.
Huh.
Interesting.
What?
You ready to do this?
Yeah, let's go.
Oh, X-Men. X-Men. Now on sale twice a month if you didn't know. So when I opened this, both the first time and when I reread this recently, I thought I had missed an issue.
Right.
Because
why is that?
Well, the last thing we saw, I believe, was the X-Men on their way back to this place, on the way back to their Outback headquarters. No?
I believe so.
Do I have to go look? Oh, man. You're making me... Okay, hold on. Let's take a look. I'm mad at you now. I'll never forgive you. All right. Here we go. Full layout on this guy right here. Here's the last page of the previous issue. Y'all see that? Fever Dream. We see Havoc with no shirt on. We see Psylocke in her armor. Colossus armored up, and Dazzler. Hey guys,
they had just left the Savage Land.
Home. They've just left the Savage Land, and here they are, ready to go. Okay, now can I put this issue away forever?
Yes.
Okay, good. And we'll go back to this. Beautiful. So when I opened it up, I was like, wait a minute. I know where this is going. The cover tells you everything. But when did it happen? Like, I want to see him come home, and I want to see him fight the Reavers.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I want to see, and I want him to win. So this was not the introduction I was expecting, but I have to keep an open heart, because I want to get into this one. Stan Lee presents Fever Dream, starring the last of the Uncanny X-Men. Holy shit!
Right. They're dropping that on us.
That's an amazing idea. That they're all gone but him.
Yes.
Does it mean they're all dead? Maybe.
Last X-Men standing.
Yeah, that's great. Heat means sun. Sun means day. I've survived to see another dawn. Lucky me. Now, I gotta just, of course, say, usually issues are not narrated by Wolverine.
Usually.
There have been a couple.
Mm-hmm. Well, the previous, the Barry Windsor Smith, the Wolf one?
Wounded Wolf?
Well, the one with, with Lady Deathstrike. I think that's got a fair amount of Wolverine self-narration in there.
Yeah, I think there might have been another one as well. But it's neat and catches me off guard. And I think it's necessary because it I don't know, it feels good. Chris Claremont, writer, Marc Silvestri, and Dan Green, artists. Tom Warzakowski, letterer. Glynis Oliver, colorist. Bob Harris, editor. And Tom DeFalco, chief inquisitor. Ooh, that's dark.
Yeah, geez, pal.
But we've got that team that's really together for now over 50 issues of Claremont, Dan Green on inks, Orzakowski, and Glynis Oliver. Like that is the core of this production team.
Yeah, it has been for the longest time.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Great run. Hard to draw heat. Sweltering sun. But it works.
It works. Look at that. There are those damn birds. All right. Good morning, Wolverine.
I think the next line is his still.
Is it comfy?
His name is Donald Pierce. Used to be White King, the Hellfire Club, till they bounced him out. As a major hate for mutants. Especially me. At the moment, I couldn't care less.
Look at me, X-Men! Or perhaps I'll slice away your eyelids. We'll see if they grow back. Or if your vaunted healing power will keep you from going blind. That's better. That's better. You're learning. See how pleasant life can be if you cooperate. You remember my associates, do you not? Rest assured they all remember you. We've all of us felt your claws, Wolverine. This is where we return that pain in full measure. Cole, Reese, and Macon were Hellfire Commandos till you cut them to bits. They'd have died but for my genius. Now they're superpowered cyborgs, as are all my Reavers. Lady Deathstrike voluntarily sacrificed her physical humanity to gain her revenge on you. And finally, Pretty Boy, Bonebreaker, and Skullbuster, last of my original Reavers. You and the X-Men destroyed their gang and stole from them this town that was their home to use as your own.
So are we to believe that he thinks he's the one that made those guys into cyborgs?
Yeah, I think so. I think he used his...
But didn't they go to the body shop?
They did, that whole weird body shop thing with Spiral.
So I'm cool with a retcon.
Sure.
I'm cool with, maybe Deathstrike's the only one that went through that. But the other guys are as cybernetic as Pierce is.
Mm-hmm.
And them being commandos, also known as Hellfire Knights. We called them pawns.
Are they pawns?
Well, we called them pawns, but I wonder if that got in our heads because they were what's called that in the book, or because we just called them that.
Right.
I've seen them also recently called Hellfire Knights.
Ah, okay.
But I don't mind them being called commandos. Like whatever they are, they're just goons.
Okay.
When you see how cool they look now, it reminds you just how lame that costume was. With that weird face that they had.
Oh, I kind of like the face. It's like a doll part.
Yeah, there is something creepy about that. Maybe in some sort of submission. I don't know. Maybe put a zipper on the mouth. If I think if you could go back and
codename safe word,
go back and redo those costumes with maybe not just like a skin tight,
right?
Blue and red, but just like actually add some pouches, like 90s it up a little bit, like add some of these the accoutrement of a tactical uniform of some kind.
Yeah. Sure.
But yeah, man, how much I love the Reavers. It's just like they are toys waiting to happen with each of these guys. And
well, it's funny because I never really thought about it before, but now that I'm seeing just the way in the on the right hand side, the third panel with the shadow there.
Yeah.
Does Bonebreaker have a butt? Is it metallic? Or does he use it to is it a useful butt? Can he use it as designed? I'm not sure.
These are really good questions.
Right.
I'm going to tell you, he does not.
Oh, okay.
He is buttless.
Buttless. Gotcha.
And he excretes pucks of waste from his chassis.
Oh, okay.
So his body, his organs process, and then it goes through some of the cybernetics, and it creates like a gelatinous puck of waste that he excretes and gently places in front of people's doorsteps.
Okay.
As he scoots on by.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's a good life.
These are the questions of our times, people.
Important stuff.
You dare mock me. Oh, very good, Wolverine. Okay, very good. You angered me and made me lose my temper, lose control. This round, then, to you. Enjoy the taste of victory, little man. You have my word. It'll be your last.
What a bet. I would never leave Wolverine unguarded.
Right? Never do.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. This is what I mean, right? Like you see the cover and because the feeling you're like, oh, he's gonna get out. Oh no. So and it's funny because okay. We're actually revisiting revisiting not a trope because it's not considered a trope at this point. We're revisiting a sequence of events where Hellfire Club, Wolverine almost drowns, whole team's out of commission. Then which issue is that? And then he goes on his hunt basically and takes down the entire Hellfire Club.
Like 132, right around there,
including Reese and Macon and Cole, right?
Yeah.
So he does that to them. And then now we're back at it. Those three guys are still here. The team's gone. Wolverine's down to his, down and seemingly out. But then you get like a panel like that, or and you're kind of like, we're going to revisit that territory now.
Sure. Yeah. Well, they also hunted him in Wounded Wolf, like you said, in X-Men 205. So, and he took them apart then as well.
Yeah. So there you go. Right. A little bit of a returning to the well for that, I think.
But there are 4 new members this time.
Right. There's more people to do it with, but yeah.
Yeah. Easier said than done. Tugging on my bonds just makes me bleed. I'm here, looks like, for the duration. Sun's right in my face. Air is already hot. No clouds in the sky, not a hope of shade. Gonna be a long day. Hope the bad guys have as much fun.
Okay, so do you remember who's who?
No, man. I think with the 3 Reaver dudes, with Corey's Macon, I can't even tell who's who.
Yeah, right, exactly.
We just go panel to panel. I think you are Bonebreaker, and maybe I was Pretty Boy and Skullbuster.
Maybe. Okay.
And then you're Deathstrike. I don't know.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay.
Room's clear, Reese. Cole reports the same from out back. Must have been a false alarm.
I could have told you hotshots that. On the other hand, then I would have missed the show. Trey Hollywood.
I spotted something, Bonebreaker. I don't make those kinds of mistakes.
Oh, of course not. Perish the thought. Land sakes, what a concept. Except we scanned the whole town top to bottom. Nobody here but us cyborgs and our flesh toy out front.
How can you be sure? The X-Men are invisible to electronic scanners.
Cloak don't seem to apply to the home sensors here. They track them muties just fine.
Unless someone exists who's immune to them too. Ooh, Sarge, maybe it's the alien. Gonna grab us in the dark, bite our little heads off, nibble on our tiny feet. Very funny, Ducky. Let's hope the last laugh isn't on us. And then that great idea of showing a point of view through an obstructed view, like through the bushes, it gives very clear. This is like film 101. Now we know they're being watched. Totally. And I love that the word alien was dropped because,
right.
Looking at this comic in 1989, like looking at it now from 2025 and having watched the movies I've watched and learn about the designers and of different things, like these guys in the 80s are so beautifully referencing and pulling from, maybe 3 or 4 films more than any other. I would say Blade Runner for like architecture and certain sci-fi things, and the mood in the streets. Like that rainy wet is so often used in comics.
Totally.
A couple John Carpenter movies.
Oh yeah.
Like Escape from New York. And one other, it's left my brain, but it'll come back. Shoot, what's the movie with the gang where the Warriors gets referenced? I think so much in the way that these artists in their 20s and 30s and 40s draw gang members.
Right. Yeah. Sure.
And then of course Aliens.
Yeah.
So Alien and Aliens, like the Geiger design of the xenomorph, as well as like the tech on the ship, and we're going to see that in a big time.
And even just the look of the Space Marines, like the gun designs,
for sure,
the equipment, the kind of even like the half uniforms they wear sometimes, like the the Space Marines and aliens have like there's no uniformity to what they wear. It's like I think Hudson might be the only one who wears like something that looks, but the rest of them have like a tear here or an arm off there or whatever.
And what's the dude's name who is going to protect Sarah Connor?
Michael Biehn.
No. Sorry, the character's name.
No, I don't know.
Isn't it Kyle Reese?
Might be. There you go. Right, might be.
Hey, people in the chat, fill me in. What's the character's name who goes back to save Sarah Connor in Terminator?
Yeah.
Kyle Reese, man.
Kyle Reese. There you go.
I mean, I see Michael Biehn right there at the bottom left-hand panel.
Right.
Like, isn't that him just looking at us?
Yeah.
You know, so that the way that tech is, it just feels like it is such a mashup of aliens and Blade Runner and man, oh man, like I needed to watch those movies back then. I missed it, and it really does inform so much of the design in comics and yeah, so cool. I've actually never seen the Warriors though.
Oh,
but I think the idea of having gangs and sort of these costumes really has impacted like cartoons, comics.
The same, like Escape from New York.
Sure.
Post-apocalypse. It's not really post-apocalypse, but it's that version of that like violent New York. Right?
Well, I would argue, for the sake of Manhattan, it is post-apocalyptic. I mean, the island is a prison, so like for that one city, the apocalypse has happened. But for the rest of the country, not quite. But there you go. Yeah, Cody says that's your homework for the weekend. Watch Warriors.
Hey, Warriors, come out and play.
So for those who don't know, I do have some barriers between me and I'm just going to call them. I mean, are they B movies?
I mean, I think it's probably a good way to summarize them so that people get an idea what you're talking about. Yes.
Yeah, my earliest movies were all sort of that Spielberg, Lucas, summer blockbuster, incredibly high production value. And when I finally got around to having access to those video cassette rentals, they didn't look good to me. And I thought they were kind of, as an 8, 9, 10, 20-year-old, I always thought they were kind of low budget. And I didn't appreciate what that meant in terms of opportunity for filmmakers like Carpenter, how it allowed him to be an auteur and without a lot of oversight, just achieve his vision through not trickery, but like filmmaking techniques that hide the lack of opportunity for high budget special effects. He got a lot done and focused on storytelling and mood without the opportunity to having, industrial light and magic gloss over things and make it look amazing. So as a comic book artist, again, that's sort of what we're doing too. We are using a zero budget to just give the hint of a huge set or a cityscape. Just trying to evoke a lot with very little means. So I've kind of getting an additional appreciation for those kinds of movies, but I have to get out of my own way to enjoy them. So I'm getting there, but we'll see about watching the Warriors. And you get movies that are kind of B movies that are like Pacific Rim that are incredible to look at, and the plot is a B plot, but so it's hard for me to go back. I don't know, dude. I'm like watching,
and I'm the opposite, right? Those movies have always appealed to me so much so. Yeah.
Did your older brother Peter get you into those movies at all?
I don't think so.
Was it Friends? Was it your sister?
Maybe Friends, maybe. I think I loved a good. I like the silliness of some of the stories.
Right.
Like the true escapism, where even from an effects perspective, you could laugh along with it, right? Even if it was like someone's head blowing up or something like that. Because I think maybe because they didn't take itself too seriously. Maybe it was like they were in on it, right?
Right. They totally were, especially looking back at them.
But I can definitely say though in the mid late 80s when I was my father and I would watch he was the one who was like, let's watch like Bloodsport or all the Jean-Claude Van Damme, and I was like, amazing, of course. Let's watch Kickboxer. Let's watch right. And I recently rewatched Bloodsport, or a good portion of it, and man, what a fun movie! Like, just
I love that movie.
So good, so fun, so silly. Again, so silly. Like the concepts, right?
Okay, USA.
Right? Kumite.
So once in a while, I guess I was able to, because
Yeah.
Bloodsport was high on my list of rewatches, and so was Running Man.
Oh, Running Man, sure.
Ridiculous. Who directed that, by the way?
Geez. I know it's a Stephen King short story.
Sure, but it feels like a Carpenter movie, doesn't it?
No, it feels like it for sure. It does. Yeah.
So
like, it feels like there's like a, I mean, I know we're a bit off topic here, but like of the 80s Arnie stuff, there's like a top tier, and it's like definitely middle tier Arnie.
Sure.
But it's still really enjoyable.
And it's crazy that within only a few years, you get T2.
Right, exactly. That's what I mean. Like he goes from, and they're all enjoyable if you enjoy Arnie movies, but like the quality of some of those films, like T2, as opposed to Running Man, is like night and day. The other one for me that it was a rewatch all the time was Highlander. Talk about movies that make no sense, but man, did I enjoy Highlander.
Right. So I mean, Highlander, Big Trouble, Little China.
Big Trouble is
Escape from New York. These are all movies I had to watch in my 40s to just catch up, just try. And I found them all really challenging. But I've watched Escape from New York now 3 times, and I enjoy it more and more each time. So I'm trying to, like I said, get out of my own way and enjoy these movies. But when you say, but they don't take themselves seriously, I think that's what was probably hardest for me is I just take this stuff so seriously.
Right.
And I wanted to also, I mean, again, I was like Star Wars, Indiana Jones, it took itself so seriously. And that was one of the things I loved about it. But I've never seen Escape from LA. Matters to You mentions it. I have not seen it yet.
It's fun.
Other than the ridiculous digital stuff that they, incorporate, like the surfing, and I've only just heard like Patrick H. Willems talk about it, or other film essay websites, YouTube channels talk about them.
And one of the great things, again, when you find your muse, like 3 of those movies you're talking about is like, they're all Kurt Russell, right?
Right.
And he does that character, right? Like he is that guy who is that lovable action hero, but can do comedy, right? Like
part John Wayne, part looking at it,
Often, and in Big Trouble in Little China, appears to be the hero, yet gets his butt kicked all the time.
Sure.
And a bit of a punching bag. Yeah.
Tying this back to X-Men,
we should do that. That is this show.
It also correlates exactly to like my taste in X-Men comics.
Right.
The ones that are satire or a little too cheeky or whatever it might be are the ones that I don't like. The ones that are taking themselves seriously, where the stakes feel real to me, those are the ones that I connect to. Right. So there really is a lot of one's own personality and personal preference as to what makes their X-Men feel good to them. Which is why this is such a great cover, because it's serious.
It's the best cover.
Yes. It's not the long shot going for a swing on a line on a Hollywood set interrupting a film shoot. Like,
right.
Oh, God. This is like the most serious stuff of all time. All right. So someone is looking at these Reavers through a grate in the ventilation or something. And oh my gosh, what's that girl's name in Aliens?
Newt Vasquez. Well, sorry, Newt is the little girl, but Vasquez has the bandana.
So we have here is a cross between Vasquez and Newt.
Yeah, it's a Vasquez.
Here we go. But I do think it's like it's connected. Now, we mentioned before that there was
Vasquez. Anyone ever?
Okay, yeah.
For a man?
Yeah, that great scene. I mean, Bill Paxton is the best,
Oh,
right?
Bill Paxton.
So we did not read the short story in an X-Men annual, not written by Chris Claremont and not drawn particularly beautifully. I forget by who. Where Jubilee goes around and takes a piece of everyone's costume and assembles her own thing. Which
Is that what happens?
yeah, game over, man. Thanks, Cody.
Game over, man.
I mean, what a great looking movie that is. You see what I mean about like the production value?
Yeah, no, I
Jim
agree.
Cameron, like,
That's got stakes. This serious film.
It is. It's amazing. But we also saw way back when Kitty Pryde joined the team, she also did something similar where she took, I think, parts of some costumes and tried on different iterations and of becoming Sprite and Ariel and you know, and it was like it was ridiculous stuff. So this kind of reminds me of her trying to find her own way before she earns her own costume. Who the heck are these guys? Where'd they come from? What do they want? That bald Mad Maxoid with the shades. He's more machine than person. Utterly gross. Don't like the way they laugh. That's one of the X-Men in the street. No sign of any of his pals. Or that old geek, Gateway. Where'd everybody go? What's happening? Too hot to sweat. Yet the art tells you otherwise, dude.
Yeah.
Perspiration evaporates before it really has time to form. Except in the art. What I see of my skin starting to look as cracked and blistered as the ground. Gonna get a lot worse. Wish I could catch a decent breath. Well, here's a surprise. If there was ever a time to open one of your teleport gateways, Gateway, my kind of man, you brought the whole team. Now we'll see some whoa, time out. Something doesn't scope. If I'm the fella needing a rescue, how come I'm also one of the rescuers? Because the rescuer's down under. I get it now.
Yeah, right. It's a tie.
You get it?
They have the same universe.
Yeah. Talk to me, X-Men. At least say hello. Rogue, me and Longshot. Body's pulling a fade. Others aren't batting an eye. Storm, what happened while I was away? Is any of this real? Behind you, darling, look out!
I didn't mean to. You've got to believe me. It was an accident.
I know, comrade. These things happen. But somehow, Havoc, I always assumed, even at the worst, never to us.
Crazy. It's crazy. I'm crazy. Maybe the Reavers playing with my head. No such luck, my friend. Another Psylocke? Wrong again, the one and only. Look at me, Wolverine. See what the Reavers have done.
Ugh. That's
game over, man.
Game over. It's definitely game over. That's messed up and gross.
Yeah.
You know.
I wonder how he could know in his dream state what happened to Storm or the other X-Men are gone. But this is what I was talking about, him gaining not interdimensional, but getting sight through time, or let's just call it sight beyond sight, if you don't mind. I like to evoke a little Thundercats, a little Lion-O. Did you ever get to have one of those swords?
No, did you?
I made mine. I made I got some cardboard, and I made like a short version, and I made a long version.
Well, yeah, obviously
the long version got broken so fast.
Did you put like a little telescope lens in it so you could see like the sight beyond sight?
No, I just colored it red, made the logo. You know,
that's
like
cool too, I guess.
On Arts and Crafts. I was 25 when I made it.
Also, this was last week. What?
Right. Yeah, that cartoon meant a lot to me. The first season, at least.
Hey, I mean, I was thinking about Thundercats like maybe yesterday for some reason, And
it's
all I could think about was how great it was that the antagonist, Mumra, had a dog called Mumut. And I just thought, what a great. I mean, come on, right? Like you've got a pet, and it's a mummy dog, and so it's Mumut.
yeah, that makes total sense. And
Wonderful. That's great.
yeah, I liked how obviously that it was Star Wars was gone by then, and so it was like there was that Luke and Obi-Wan Kenobi parallel between Lion-O and Jaga.
Jaga,
really liked that. And I just love that the grandfather from the Cosby Show was Panthro. It made me really happy.
Yeah, that's really nice.
Yeah, it's good stuff. All right. Hard time for heroes, bub. Rogue's gone, Longshot quit, Storm got killed. Only 4 of us were left when the Reavers came. We needed a leader, Wolverine. Why weren't you here to help? I know, don't tell me. Obligation, duty, Giri. Don't you have a duty to the X-Men? Like my claws? Maybe not so macho stylish as yours, but I'll bet they'll cut as deep. You got claws, I got claws. All good chillins got claws. What?
All God's
chillins?
Children, I think it's
all gods. Sorry, I misread. All God's chillin'? Who's talking now, man?
Good question.
Sorry, was it Pumira or was it Jaga?
Wait, no, it's Jaga.
Who's Pumira?
I mean, I know now we're down to Thundercats.
I forget.
Cool.
Was Pumira a second wave of characters?
Oh, maybe.
Like Tigra,
Panthro, Chitara,
Wily Cat,
Snarf,
and Lion-O.
Snarf.
You don't. I know it's such a easy. It's such low hanging fruit. So from the second set, the girl. Okay, I'm picturing her. The second lady Thundercat came out with Bengali. I liked Bengali, but he was just Tigra in white, wasn't he?
Maybe
they felt like they were just repaints, and then just animated.
Snarf.
Weren't they just repaints, guys? Come on, as fans of toys, aren't the second set just repaints?
This show is going everywhere today.
Swaps. All right, okay. I got claws. Oh, God's chillin' got claws. The more we use them, the better we like it. Psylocke, Betsy, don't! What's the matter, sweetie? Aren't you the best there is at what you do? Bit late to turn squeamish at the sight of what people love seeing you do best. Linkso, he was an original one. He's blind, right? Yeah.
Yeah, he was like a ninja, wasn't he? Like a blind ninja.
Yeah, cool. But now, as Psylocke rips away her flesh, I think we need a new reader.
It's me, actually.
Yeah.
Or could it be you don't like what's inside the package underneath the wrapping? You've looked better, boy. Me, though, I feel great. Bet you're confused, eh? After all, Sabretooth's supposed to be dead, right? But then again, so are you X-Men. Faked your deaths for all the world to see. Better to be able to go after the bad guys. Joke's on you, eh? Been a ghost, even a pretend one. Boy, it made you so sloppy. Wolvie, I remember, wouldn't have been nailed anywhere near so easy, if at all.
Okay, before you advance, go back for a second. So many things to talk about here. So the original version of Sabretooth that I think it's maybe even John Byrne who draws way back in an issue of Iron Fist. I think the peak of that version of Sabretooth was probably drawn by Alan Davis in that awesome issue where Wolverine, where he goes after Psylocke in her first days as an X-Man, and like Wolverine and him fight. It's just the Mansion. Fantastic version of Sabretooth. This feels like a level up. This feels like a now he's a monster.
Yes,
and I don't think we get to the Jim Lee version without like this stop in between, going from him just being some kind of cat dude, whatever. Alan Davis draws him like, to perfection of that first iteration. This feels to me like a new version, and the way, like, I don't know, the chest hair, everything, it just feels so much more wild and sized up and grotesque. Matters to says this definitely feels like a more feral Sabretooth. I love it. And that first picture, like that reveal that's like, again, just peak Silvestri doing the thing he absolutely does best. It looks just great to me. That second panel, his face.
Oh yeah.
That's great. I had a guitar player in a band once that had a face like that.
Kind of flat.
Yeah, we our photo sessions went terribly. Just smush.
Smush, smush, smush.
And hey, remember we were talking way back about, I think it was even Silvestri was sort of pushing to keep drawing Wolverine with like a cowboy hat on when they were hanging out in San Francisco. Yeah. He would just add a little piece here or there, and often had him unmasked. And we know that he gets all the way into sort of the vest and headband and kind of Rambo.
Yeah.
When Silvestri's drawing the solo series, but it's neat to see he's like doing it again, and he's really working to try and add some elements to Wolverine's costume here. Wolverine's so cool.
Yeah, it's just still Sabretooth, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Long drive across the desert, out here to the middle of nowhere. Gateway brought you home every other time. Didn't strike you odd, strip you. Had to make your own way. Total disappointment, Logan. So there you are, hankering for nothing more than a cool brew and a warm bath. Not quite the welcome you expected, eh? Careless boy. How come your super senses didn't warn you of trouble? Ah, sure, you came up ready to scrap. All these Reavers, one time or another, they felt your claws. They learned from past mistakes. Adamantium blades. Cut through anything. You get close enough to use them. Sure, your bones are laced with this stuff. Makes them near unbreakable. But the rest of you is flesh and blood. They went to work on that with a vengeance.
Oof.
Excuse me.
And when his belly bully boys were done, Pierce made sure personally you wouldn't leave his party before it was over. Man has a serious dislike for you, Sonny.
That mask.
You like it? Japanese demon face, worn by ninjas to scare their adversaries. Belonged to your old teacher, Ogun. He was your friend, Logan, but you killed him.
I had to. Or he'd have done worse to Kitty Pryde.
Back in the days when you were there, when your team needed you, you fought then. Why not now?
Maybe I'm tired. Maybe my strings finally run out. Couple things. First, no, go back. We got to vote that you talk like that always.
Okay.
I second that, by the way.
Yep.
It's erotic and sensual.
Ooh, okay.
Also, Matters to You says that third panel on the left, when Wolverine popping his claws.
Oh, yeah.
That's gone. Just, again, Silvestri's like adding this. He's playing with the design of Wolverine a little bit, getting him out of that costume as often as he can when he draws these issues. And it's neat, and it pays off. And we will see the epitome of it when he gets on the Wolverine series itself. This is just friggin' great. This is where I thought the issue was going to start. And I wonder if in the process it ever occurred to Claremont and Silvestri, like if they ever started it here with Wolverine returning home and then like kind of did some sketches and rearranged it to put it in as a flashback / whatever memory / vision. I'm interested in having that conversation about the storytelling order and what would be the most effective way, but it's really cool. This is great.
Yeah,
his work, Silvestri's storytelling is so clear in this issue too. It's really good.
Interesting too, like adamantium blades. You're like, oh wow, okay. Like there's a whole bunch of interesting little pieces here. Plus, you're getting this like recap. He's having like this fever dream, but then through that we get to see what happened to him. Right?
He got bullwhipped, dude.
Yeah, bull-whipped.
That's brutal. Yeah. I need this Donald Pierce action figure with half that cape, though.
Yeah, that's a lot of cape.
All cape.
Yeah.
Puffy sleeves. So Wolverine says, maybe my strings finally run out. What's it to you?
Sabretooth cares because nobody gets to kill you but him. Ogun cares because at heart you're a warrior like him. In your own way, a man of honor. And this is no way for a samurai or man to die. And I care.
Kitty!
Because when Ogun possessed me and tried to steal my soul, you made me fight for my own life.
Strength was always within you, kid. Simply a matter of showing you.
Now I return the favor.
That's Gateway's Hill. The light's up top. He's opened his portal. The X-Men coming through. Gotta warn him. The Reavers. Ambush. Go back!
Logan, they can't hear you. This isn't real. It's a fever dream. Your spirit's with me. Your body's still on the scaffold. And these are events that have already happened. There's nothing you can do to change them.
Do you think that Claremont was directed not to use the word, like, cross? Or is there another word for that object? I mean, scaffold's fine with me. I would not use it to describe what that giant wooden X is. But I wonder if, like, there was limitations on what he was allowed to say. You know?
Maybe, yeah. Huh.
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah.
Claremont knows.
Besides, look at Psylocke's face. Betsy doesn't need any warning, Logan. She already knows. Whoopee-ki-yay, we're home. There you go, another movie reference.
Yeah.
We're safe. And what about the people we left behind in the Savage Land? We're the X-Men. We're supposed to stop psychos like Zaladane. And in the old days, we used to. We had our share of defeats, Comrade. Then as now. Hate to say it, pal. That doesn't make you feel better. I mean, look at us. Rogue zapped through the siege perilous. To heaven knows what fate. Longshot quit. Storm dead. And who knows where Wolverine is these days. More concerned with his own life, I guess, than ours.
Appears they ain't coming down, bro.
If the X-Men won't come to the slaughter, Scully, one slaughter'll just have to go to them. How can we even call ourselves a team anymore? Just the four of us left, living out in the middle of nowhere. What good are we to anyone? How does this further Professor Xavier's dream? Remember the one that brought us all together? The better world where mutant and human can live together in peace? Listen to me, mutant and human. As though being the one precluded the other. It's like we perpetuate the prejudice, even as you try to fight it. Well, I've had it, folks. I've paid my dues. We all have, with the scars to prove it. I say time's come to call it quits.
What?
What? You mean just give up and walk away? Why not, Dazzler? Roma offered us that option when she resurrected us. We were fools to turn her down. Maybe it's not too late.
No, I don't believe this.
Why? Because Havoc's making sense?
By the way, that Wolverine face looks like it was drawn by Rick Leonardi.
I was going to say, yeah, it's Leonardi.
Maybe if you'd been here, Wolvie, you could have argued against it, but you weren't. Roma said the siege perilous was ours to use. I simply never imagined we would ever need to. It feels like we're running away.
Sometimes, Allison, that is for the best.
Will we meet again in our new lives?
Their new lives, Tovarish. Anything is possible.
До свидания, Elizabeth.
Farewell, Pyotr Nikolaevich Rasputin. Colossus just went through the Siege Perilous. Like, it was
Yeah, he's
that
done.
easy to convince. This guy's been an X-Man since 1975. And
It's over.
Havoc just whined and convinced him to go through the Siege Perilous.
Yep.
And just, like, end his life. Holy smokes.
Yep.
That is wild.
Not a word about his folks or his sister Liana. That isn't like Petey.
Scared, Allison?
Who, me? Hey, girl, I used to be the Herald of Galactus. You betcha.
There's no need, Ellie. You'll be fine.
Says you. It's been real, Bets. See ya.
Move it, you steelbacks. Something's happened on the top. Alex,
This isn't right.
second thoughts?
I'm not sure. Not about what I said. I stand by that. It came from the heart.
I know.
Yeah, you would. You're the telepath. The mind's your special playground. Same went for Professor Xavier, only I never felt as edgy around him as I do around you.
Don't you trust me?
Conclusions I came to,
Are justified.
choices I'm making.
Are the right ones.
So you say. So why do I feel I'm betraying everything and everyone I hold dear?
Not you, my sweet. That's the cross I choose to bear.
They're gone. I'll save the Mental.
Mentat?
It says Mentat.
Mentat! Mentat!
Yeah, like, Mum Mutt.
Yeah, Mumut. That's it. That's the name.
I'm Mentat. Yeah, okay. What'd you do with them, Psy-Witch? Where'd they go?
So this is the third person that Havoc has had a relationship with?
Well, they just smooch to say goodbye as they die.
I guess.
All
right.
So I'm getting the impression that she's obviously finishing his sentences,
Yes.
but she's using her powers to convince them to go, to persuade the X-Men to walk through the Siege Perilous.
Because she saw the future.
Because she saw the future?
She saw a vision. She had a vision of like coming back. Remember a couple issues ago and everyone did.
Yeah. So to save everyone's life, she's convinced them to go through the Siege Perilous.
Mm-hmm. I guess.
So where'd they go, he says? Where you cannot touch them, Reaver. You'll kill no X-Men today. Blink. She did this. Psylocke used her telepathy to trick the others through the crystal.
Gold star for you, Bunky.
Kitty, your voice. The Bird Queen.
Such a shame your insight will no more save them than it will you.
Job.
Reality.
A lovely night, is it not? Poor boy, you don't seem to be enjoying it. Oh, pity. A man should savor even the smallest of pleasures, when all he has to look forward to is the most terrible of pain. The elements have done their worst, little man. Now it's my turn.
What's he talking? No! Oh no! No! Oh!
Yes!
I like how Deathstrike brings these sharpened wooden stakes to him on like a surgical tray.
Yeah.
I mean, they could be in a satchel. They could be, on a belt.
It could be. Yeah, it could be.
But yeah, no, like here, go do your surgery, sir.
Yeah.
Dark. That is so dark.
Totally dark. Scream, curse you. Why won't you scream? What will it take to make you scream? Boss?
What? Sword intrude. but the weather is deteriorating in a major way. Never scanned a storm like this. Best we get under cover and batter down. A sensible suggestion, Bonebreaker. I've done enough for one night. This respite mutant will give you the opportunity to recover a little and begin sufficient strength to make our next session hurt even more. As for your companions, Wolverine, you won't be following them, and they won't be ever coming back. You're mine until you die, and that won't be for a very long, long time.
Cool that he just can crush it. I guess he's strong, got that hand.
Yes, yeah. Oh, he's also cybernetic, is he not?
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's that his arms are crazy. If I'm lucky, maybe lightning will strike me. Are you giving up then, old friend? You got objections? Always. Are you not the one whose creed is, while I live, I fight? My problem, my decision, Oro. Not yours, not anymore. The devil, you say?
Certainly not characteristic of the Logan I remember.
Give it a rest, Genie. You're dead too. Oops. Sorry, my mistake. I meant to say, you, the Jean Grey who was Phoenix, never really existed. So I guess I never really loved you.
Can the same be said for me? Or is that you are no longer worthy of the honor sword of Clan Yoshida and my love?
Flaming broads. What do y'all want from me?
Your life, chum. You saved me from the KGB against impossible odds, even when everyone else had abandoned me.
Different time, Danvers. Different man. You're a ghost. You're all ghosts. Dreams, phantoms, nothing. So just shut up and leave me alone. It's over, don't you see? I'm done. If that is true, Logan, then so am I. She de-ages before our eyes. Never known weather like this. Wonder, suddenly, if Storm really is a goddess. This her way of showing she's really angry. Can't help laughing. I mean, she's dead, right? Shot down by Havoc. How come I'm seeing her? Of all my phantoms, as a little kid.
Kiss, kiss, hug, hug. On peril of your life, pretty boy. Be warned, Lady Deathstrike, when I'm a man who rises to the challenge, then by all means, take the risk.
Reports of unseasonable gales from across the globe, torrential rain, hurricane force winds, floods, the worst centered around the city of Cairo, Illinois.
End of the world.
Go ahead.
End of the world, I bet.
You wish, Cole. Bet or fold.
Be a royal crock, don't you think? If that little muty shrimp went and got himself drowned.
No, Bonebreaker, I do not think. Speak so again, and you can join him to share his fate.
Some rain. Those creepoids just gonna leave him out there? Hey, at least it made them stop hurting him. Man, oh man. Like, how could someone do something so awful to another human being? What do they do to me? They catch me helping. That's nuts. Why should I stick my neck out? I don't even know the guy. What's going on? I want to scream. That's good. I give it all the voice I got left. Who's to hear through all the thunder? Pain's a goad. Makes me mad, makes me crazy. The torture. I thought that was the worst, but this... What is this guy? Some animal? Only the berserker in my soul could save me now. Either I die, or I win free. One arm, then two. Probably an easier way to do this. Who flaming cares? Thunder. Sorry. Thunder, lightning. Thunder gets
thunder.
Stop it, stop it, stop it. Jeez Louise. He's free. I gotta, what? Look out for number one. That's the smart survivor's play. But he's hurt. You don't want to end up the same way. He needs help. What's he to do? If those guys get their hands on him again, they get their hands on me. No kid. He saw me. He knows I'm here. You're gonna give a fella a hand or what? To be continued.
An entire
page. Holy smokes.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean,
pretty wild stuff.
You know, he rips his arms, which are bolted in with stakes, whatever. He rips them off, so he frees them. And even says it's probably like he probably used his claws to like cut the things out of his. He just doesn't on his feet. He just rips them through his feet.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, he's an incredible tough guy.
Wow.
Rare. I don't think we've ever seen this before, where there's the ad with the next cover.
No, I don't know if we have. Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know if we can tell, if one could tell from the art at that size, but that's the Jim Lee cover.
Okay, I can see Deathstrike, I can see Pierce and Bonebreaker, right?
Yeah, and then there are 3 wolves.
And then there, sure. I was going to call them dogs, but
sure, or dingoes.
Dingo at my baby, mate. Too soon.
You're right. Need to see that we're seeing like the Jim Lee cover coming up, which tells you that it was done early, right? Because they're doing a book they're publishing every 2 weeks. But when you have different teams doing things, like you can have an artist like Jim Lee throw a cover in early in the mix, and they can get it out there to promote it. Like I said, he's not famous enough yet where it doesn't say in 2 weeks a cover by Jim Lee.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
But it will get there. It'll get there where he becomes synonymous with the brand.
Yeah.
Hey man, what'd you think of this issue?
It's great.
Yeah.
This is a really strong. Again, like this stands out, right? It's a strong issue.
Yes, and again, it was really what I was looking for.
Yeah.
Did you hear about the Leafs?
I did.
I just got a text from my boy. Now I'm excited. There you go.
There you go. Go try.
There you go. Did you hear who scored?
Oh, I did.
What aren't you like reading comics and doing a show? How do you know all this stuff? I have to like check my phone with the old man. Yeah, I don't get notifications.
Yeah.
I know you do, but I'm looking for now. Hey, Leafs won in overtime. Spoilers. Whaley. So I'm excited to go watch those highlights, but let's still talk X-Men. Really good issue. I can't wait for the next one.
Right.
And
that's the best thing you can say about an issue. Is
yeah.
that you immediately want to read the next one.
Yes, and I did.
Oh, there you go.
I read it earlier in the week. I was so excited, and I think everyone will be excited too. The X-Men are gone. Like the team is over. They've gone through the siege.
Everyone just walked through the siege perilous.
We do not have any kind of precedence in X-Men comics for what happens to heroes when they go through. We don't know.
But half the team walked through, including Rogue.
Right. So 5 members have gone through.
Yeah.
What do you think happens? You've picked up stuff from pop culture, from conversations. You haven't read ahead. Nope. What happens in your mind if you had to guess, or just what have you figured out that happens?
Okay. What would I think? I think that they're in some kind of space-time bubble, which enables them to emerge back when they are so needed and required, as if no time has passed.
Okay, so at some point in an X-Men comic, Wolverine and Jubilee will be in a situation where they are in crisis, and out from a portal comes all the X-Men or whatever X-Men is needed
Sure.
to help them. That's kind of what you're talking about?
Yeah, why not?
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
We'll see.
We'll see.
Maybe they all just are working at a sandwich shop together.
Yep.
And they're just making sandwiches, great sandwiches.
Making great sandwich, which is a very admirable way of living your life.
Oh, yeah. I love a good sandwich.
Exactly. That's what I
Change
mean.
the world.
You know,
I got this guy.
Oh, Sunfire? No.
Yeah, Sunspot.
Sunspot.
Sunfire is the
jerk from Japan.
The jerk from Japan. Yeah.
What's inaccurate about that statement?
X-Men comics, yeah. At this point in time, he was quite jerky, and he was from Japan.
He was in Japan.
Yeah, but this is from the X-Men 97.
Yes. Roberto Costa.
Roberto da Costa. Yeah, it's a pretty generic figure. I love seeing these old New Mutants costumes.
Yeah, they're nice.
Kind of neat to see, and figure's fine. Don't love the power balls as some sort of accessory. They stick on his hand. I want to see him in like that glowy blackish purple.
Yeah, for sure.
Where he's
they did one like that, right?
They did. So Liefeld does a costume when he's on
bluish though.
Yeah, blue and red, and then his face was like the Sunspot face.
Yes. Okay.
And then he had some power effects that were repeated across many characters. So it's kind of tough because you want to depower it and you want a powered up, but it's hard to. I mean, I guess the way you do it, if you want to make one figure, is you give alternate heads, and maybe you give one alternate arm that's like powered up, so they can throw at least a Sunspot punch or something. I don't know. Not easy to do, but I got it nonetheless. That's my life story.
There you go.
There's more to life, though, man. There's much more to life. Ready? So after this
is
next week.
Ooh.
So as much as we want to read 252, next week I'm coaching a hockey game out of town, and I've got a pre-recorded episode of Wolverine, Nick Fury, the Scorpio Connection, which is contemporary. It's 1989 Marvel Comics, written by the legendary Archie Goodwin and drawn by the amazing Howard Chaykin. So I'll be going through this issue on the show next week, and then in Dos Weekos, that's 2 weeks. If you didn't know, we'll hit back to issue.
That's Spanish.
I wasn't going to say it's Spanish because I mean everyone knows. We'll get back to issue 252. Matt says, I may be biased, but this is probably one of the better issues to come out in a long time. You are biased, as we all are.
But you're
you recognize your bias, which makes you amazing. And it was one of the best issues we've read in a long time.
Accurate statement.
Yeah, it just had all the things. Wolverine getting lashed with a bullwhip. Wolverine getting dried out by the sun and chapped lips. I mean, he needed some chapstick. Wolverine getting stakes pounded through his hands and feet or hands and legs.
Wow. Just wild.
Just pain. Just that man endured incredible pain. So much so he could hallucinate and gain sight beyond sight from the Thundercats. There you go. That'll be next week. Anything else you want to talk about? What's that?
What was Thundercats base called?
The Lair? Cat's Lair?
Was it called the Cat's Lair? Okay.
Listen, it's been.
Did you have it?
No, I had no Thundercats toys at all.
Oh, okay.
So Thundercats, and hey, you guys again can look it up and put it in the chat. Comes out maybe 85, 86, maybe right around there. So I'm 11. Let's say I'm 10 years old when it comes out, just for argument's sake. And it aired in Toronto on weeknights at I want to say 4:00.
Okay.
Or 4:30 on Fox, maybe after school. And I had like after school program Monday and Wednesday night. So the first, like the pilot and the episode 3 I would always miss those in syndication. I'd catch episode 2 and be like, "What's going on Tuesdays?" And then episodes 3 and 4, or 4 and 5 at the end of the week. And Thundercats, I love the opening credits. I thought it was the theme song was amazing. The animation had me completely inspired. It felt like the convergence of like the Japanese studios like making great work, and Arthur Adams. Like it just felt like those things really matched up. And it might have been a while before toys got here. I don't know, but I was so deep into G.I. Joe, I didn't have resources for like a second. I was a little bit into Transformers in 85, 86. But so far into G.I. Joe, so I wasn't getting that. Also, it was a different scale. They were like a little bit bigger, and they didn't have great articulation. So I was interested in them, but I wanted like the Thunder Tank.
Yeah, the Thunder Tank was pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I might have mentioned this before. I used my vast collection of G.I. Joes as proxy or as analogs for other toy lines. So I used to play X-Men with my Joes. I would like assign whoever looked closest as those. I'd play like X-Men Alpha Flight was a thing I regularly do. And I remember playing Thundercats too, but with my Joes. And it wasn't great, but I always loved, I had the Snowcat. You know the Snowcat?
Yes.
The G.I. Joe toy?
Yes.
So that was my Thunder Tank. So it became... the Snowcat became the main vehicle the Joes used all the time for everything, regardless of the weather or the climate. I just loved.
It's not snowing. Get the Snowcat.
Hey man, it didn't have skids. It had like front wheels with good tread, and then it had tank treads. So it works everywhere.
It's 40 degrees outside. Get the Snowcat.
Yeah, just get in. It had a windshield wiper on it with like pretend frost. It was awesome. I love that. I still have it. You know, they did a HasLab for a big one.
No, I didn't. But okay.
I did not get in on that because that's again maybe beyond the price point of my reasonable collecting, if you want to call my collecting reasonable. Anyway, Thundercats does have a place in my heart. Also, one of the first places to explore for me the King Arthur and Excalibur. There was an episode with Excalibur in it, as there was on G.I. Joe, by the way.
Oh.
So it was all connected.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. I don't know what else to say. Matt says it's funny when you realize that Lion-O shines a red laser pointer and the other thunder chase it. Nice.
Nice.
Way to go.
And on that note.
And that brings us to the end of another episode. Thank you to my good buddy, writer of Group of 7 ML Secret Tale and Peregrine's Flights, Fiends, and Fisticuffs, Chris Sanigan. Thank you, Chris, for doing this with me. I greatly appreciate it.
Thank you, Jason.
I'm always happy to see you. You can find out more about our comics and upcoming appearances at groupof7comics.ca and follow us at Group of 7 Comics on social media. Please click like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and share with us your take on Uncanny X-Men 251 or any other X-Men stuff in the comments section below. Go dig out your old back issues, trade paperbacks, essentials, omnibuses, DVD-ROMs, bootlegs, or hop on an app and read along with us next week on Previously in X-Men. Thank you, bubs.
Good night.
Stay Xy. Good night, everybody. Go Leafs.